broke and drunk and full of heroin at the age of 34 is not exactly my idea of success.
I'd rather die drunk, broke at 34 and have people at a dinner table talk about me than live to be rich and sober at 90 and nobody remember who I was.
All right, gang, whiplash.
I can play it, okay?
Said not now! If you want the fucking part, earn it.
All right, guys, we're gonna get this thing rocking here. Okay, let's do this real quick. I'm gonna take a look at what I have going on here for specifically Dixie. Let's take a look at news coming up, just so we have an idea of what's happening. Let's take a look at this here. Okay, so we have ADP non-farm employment change came out this morning, and it was a little bit better than expected here. Still not the best news, because obviously you want to see above, usually above expectations and above 100, but we haven't had those type of numbers for a long time. Job market's been suffering. AI automations have been kind of crushing the job market here, so it is what it is. You know, obviously this has been a problem for a while. The US isn't adding as many jobs as it's losing. but it is the biggest gain in 7 months. ISM servicing PMI is decent news. This is good. Good for markets. Even though this is good data, it's still kind of bad. If you see the article is basically saying a lot more bearish data because we haven't seen any upticks in jobs here for a freaking long time here. So unemployment claims here at 215. What are we seeing? The number of individuals who employed insurance for the first time in the past week. Unemployment claims a little bit higher than expected. Bad news here. Non-farm, wow, expected to be really, really low. This can make Dixie skyrocket. And this is why Dixie's been going up and why markets have been selling off recently. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Unless it's above 100K, it's bearish. Retail sales bearish. Unemployment rate bearish. A lot of this is bearish here. Okay. So let's go to Dixie here. We haven't been able to break structure on the upside for Dixie. I still do expect some sort of movement to happen here. Yeah, right here. To be honest, I expect another run up here. I still see this as a target. Even though, yeah, we've had a mitigation, there's still possibility of a pullback here, then a run to the upside. I see Dixie skyrocketing here. I don't see Dixie moving downward at all. Especially if NFP here is this bad. If NFP is this bad here, guys, we're going to see Dixie break ATHs here, all-time high, and start going towards November 2025 areas in December, which isn't good. The last time we were that high was around, May of 2025. That's when we had a massive pullback. We don't want to see Dixie to go up. We actually do want to see Dixie to go down. Now, this war in Iran here could play a part in this. Wow, we did have a break of structure on the daily here. What does that mean? That means we're most likely selling off here. Even structure breaking here. There's no structure breaking. Just a mitigation. So that mitigation here to the sell side, very high. I see it moving lower for sure. Right? I see this. Going to this zone. And SPX doing a drop like that, rest in peace, BTC and tech stocks. They're going to see, if we're going to see a 3 to 4% fall here with SPX, which is what I'm predicting. I'm predicting a lot of stocks to go bearish, a lot of US 30 to go bearish. Wow. Yeah, US 32 also. Let's clear some of this up here. So There's no confusion. Okay. Now, some people are saying this is already priced in. Do I believe that? No. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I believe we can go lower. Not only have we broken, are we breaking weekly structure, we're going to have to go pretty low here for US 30 Dow Jones. This right here is also mitigating as well, right? So we're getting some really good indications here of mitigation. Even around this low here, we can go low. So yeah, it's not looking good here for price specifically. We can go an internal structure here. It's looking like it's setting up for another drop. Very interesting. This is external selling zones. As it comes back for order flow to fall. Right? That's kind of what I'm seeing. That low will probably target. We'll see. NFP is big, so if the NFP, like again, what can shift momentum? What can shift price? NFP, right? If NFP is better than normal, then we could see a complete shift in price. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't even matter. NAS looks a little bit messy here. Not gonna lie to you guys. I do see that external structure zone here. This low. This looks like it's been in reaccumulation though. You see that? This looks like pure wick off. Move to the upside. I don't like the structure on NAS. It looks really shitty. SPX is showing more of a bearish structure. I think it might come down. I think we might go one more leg down, guys, before we go up. We still haven't broken this indecisional candle here on the daily. But I still do believe that we might go down before we go up a little bit. All right. As we continue structure downward, we do have an 8-hour break. This order flow here. Before we see anything, we got to go lower. I believe the same thing here with NAS is the only different one, and it might be because of the tech sector. You know, if we go into AI and we look at, like, let's say MSRT looks like it's about to turn around. Potentially. I don't like that daily zone. Yeah, it's going to turn around to fall. That's what's going to happen with MSRT. Nvidia is still holding strong, even though it's reaccumulating here. All right, you have Apple holding. Amazon has to fill in these gaps in price discrepancy before it can move lower, but it will go lower. Google holding price. Meta, okay, decent. Microsoft looks like it's mitigated, ready to run. Coinbase looking to run again. ETF filings. Apparently JP Morgan is launching an ETF. All right, let's go to bonds.
And you're not.
Damn, daily, it's like breaking.
I want to be one of the greats.
Yields did shoot up today. Apparently, the Fed has to inject liquidity. That's the rumor. That's the rumor mill. The rumor mill is that the Fed injecting liquidity in the market. That's the rumor mill today. Fed might be forced to inject liquidity. Oh. Right. Bitcoin gets a liquidity lifeline as the US injects $3 billion into banking system amid oil pricing spike. Brent rises. Yeah. The Fed might be forced to print liquidity as oil rises. We'll see how well this sustains. I want to see how yield prices react back at this zone here, in this zone here. If yields start to spike, bonds go down. If bonds go down, that means liquidity is going up in the market. What can happen? The excuse for the Fed Now, this is why the war is very interesting, because remember, there has to be an excuse. Remember, in the fundamentals, there has to be an excuse. So what could be the excuse for the Fed? They have two tools, right? Two tools. The first tool is rate cuts, in order to what? In order to boost the economy, right? So they have two tools to boost the economy. One is rate cuts. What does it do? Bring less economic pressure, okay, for businesses to borrow money, so businesses can spend more money, invest back in their businesses, make higher revenue, hire more people, etc. But what's the second excuse? Well, the other thing they could do is print money. They want to do this last. But the first excuse to cut rates was, what was it? It wasn't the market. The market was doing okay. It was inflation was down. That was the first excuse, right? Inflation was down. And the second excuse was the job market was going to shit, was slowing down. Now, in order to print, this is not big enough of an excuse to print a lot more money because we just went through a huge inflation crisis. What would be the excuse to print money? We need a black swan event. What was the black swan event last time? It was COVID, a pandemic. What would be the excuse? Maybe World War III. To print money with this oil crisis and water crisis that could potentially come, what would be the perfect excuse? World War III. Iran. Right? Because if World War III was in play, that would be the perfect fucking excuse. And I'm sorry for my language here, but this is the perfect excuse. World War III is the excuse for the Fed to avoid an absolute catastrophic recession. Look at what's happening with the oil prices here, right? And oil is going up because of what reason? Okay? In simple terms, oil is going up because of what? The Strait of Hormuz, it being blocked by Iran. Okay? Trump pledges safe Mid-East oil transit as the war in Iran rages on. Iran just hit Israel today with a bunch of missiles. This is cutting off Europe's, okay, oil supply. Okay? Effective closure waterway through about 20% of the world's crude oil and natural gas. This is huge. Clearing this up here is not good here. Okay? This is why Germany and other countries are now wanting to potentially get involved. Okay? You have, what is it, the Prime Minister of Germany, or military involvement with the Iraq War. They don't want to join it, but they don't want to participate in it. They don't really want to get involved, but now there's hysteria. Trump says Germany is helping with Iran strikes. UK, France, and Germany ready to target Iran with defensive measures as Iran drones strike their bases. So, Iranian drones are striking their bases right now. Iran is making it clear that it is not neutral with any. It doesn't care. They're striking Germany, France, and UK bases in the Middle East. They're striking even Dubai. They're striking all of the major areas of where it doesn't want people to be neutral. Like Qatar. Why is it doing this? It's doing this off of the fact that they're Sunni Muslims. In the Middle East, naturally Sunni Muslims under the right influence usually stand together, because this war between Israel and Iran isn't just a war of nations, it's a war of religion in some sort of sense, right? But we're bringing geopolitics into it. So with this, there's a bunch of price action. Now, why am I mentioning a whole World War III? The Fed needs an injection. They need to print a shitload of money. How do they prevent World War III from bringing economic collapse to the US? Because right now, US needs to have a 10 to 15 to 20% retracement with SPX. A recession is on its way. The only way for them to stop it is for them to stop the recession, print money. And I guarantee you Trump is going to do anything necessary in order to force the money printer to go off so we stop a recession. We force the money printer to go off. There's only so much we can do it for only so long until inflation hits. Because right now, with oil going up, oil brings the price of gas up, and then that brings the price up of everything, and inflation numbers are now spiked. So we got to be careful too, because the other argument is, if we do go to war with Iran and this oil thing isn't taken care of soon, well, thank God we have Venezuela. I think this is why he targeted Venezuela first. Then we can't print as much money because the inflation numbers are going to be so bad. I believe that we will cover our grounds with the oil and it won't affect us as a nation in Iran. I believe the US has plenty of oil between Venezuela and also its own self. The US is trying to bankrupt China. And I believe that it will do this by taking the Middle East, trying to destroy China's economy to get the upper hand, and then as we're on the verge of potentially a recession in the US because rates are too high and they need to go lower, and most importantly, we're just ending that end of that cycle, we're going to print a shitload of money. That money printer is going to sprint like crazy, and inflation will go up, not because of oil, but because we're going to print more money. Now, the question is there any way that we can print? Is there any way this can happen soon? Can we predict when this is going to happen? We don't know. All we do know is that there is a possibility here, okay? Which is why there was an injection of $3 billion today, right? Basically saved a lot of assets, and you're seeing assets run from that injection. When I'm looking for gold right now specifically, I went on the VIP session yesterday. Gold is still technically on a technical level. If we really want to look at it, it's technically still bearish here. Shifted momentum here. Could be in some sort of level of order flow. We'll trade it tomorrow morning. I do want to see some type of movement here. There's very low liquidity. I just don't like this, because this could mean a bigger sell. And that would only happen because of deflation, not inflation, but mostly people moving to Dixie, not safe haven gold, which I don't expect. I do believe we're going to break price. I do believe that we could break. If we do break this here, then I believe gold's going to start moving to all-time highs. And this was just one big, massive liquidity sweep and pullback. Okay, that's also another possibility. We will see. Let's look at oil. Wow. You see that? That would have been a good buy. Looks like oil is getting out of order flow. Not funny. See oil's order flow here? See that? Impulse. Break of structure, pull back. That's what we could see happen if we don't figure out the oil crisis in the Middle East. Now, one thing that's interesting is this week, how does the oil close? Does it mitigate or does it close above? If oil does close above, we're going to catch the trade of a lifetime, because all we're going to look for is what? A pullback. And oil is going to be the new gold, right? Then we look for this here.
I was there to push people.
Oil doesn't usually gap without coming back.
I believe that is
Then I'm going to look for something like this here.
Necessity. There are no two words in the English language more harmful than good job.
If we have a break, looking for most likely these highs here. This would be a legendary 1 and 9. If we have a close above. USD CAD literally doing absolutely dog nothing. Back and forth, back and forth. Not too much volatility. I mean, it's bullish because Dixie's bullish and it's broken structure. But other than that, I'm not even paying attention to it. GU. Bearish. GU is going to sell tomorrow. GU is a sell tomorrow. AUD. Bearish. Super bearish. Euro. Bearish. Bitcoin. People are asking me what I think about Bitcoin. Bearish. I think it's going to sell off tomorrow. I might actually call this as a signal. It's like a perfect sell. Holy shit. I might sell Bitcoin right now. I'm looking to sell BTC right now. Yeah, BTC looks like it's getting ready to dump. I think I'm going to get in this trade here in the next hour. I'm going to see how BTC reacts. BTC looks like a great freaking sell, dude. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Give me a second, guys. What the hell is going on with my fuck? I'm trying to sell BTC right now, guys. All right, I'm looking at sells on BTC. I think Solana's gonna dump most likely. I'm gonna wait for tomorrow for BTC. I'm gonna wait just a little bit because I really want to take a sell. Could try to scalp it here, but I'm looking to sell BTC for sure. Everything else, guys, looks okay. I mean, if BTC dumps, everything else is gonna dump here. I think this is just one swipe of liquidity to the upside. All right, so trade BTC sells. This is what I'm looking at. BTC sells. USD CAD, potential buys here. USD CAD looks like a really good buy in a good buying zone. Yeah, below the cloud too. Yeah, BTC looks, I mean, USD CAD looks really good for a scalping buy. And then also, what else am I looking at? With gold, I don't want to wait. I'm going to wait till tomorrow because we need directional confirmation with that. SPX is looking, I mean, look, in the last hour since I called this sell on SPX, it's been selling off here. I think SPX is going to sell hard tomorrow morning, and this might be a 1 in 11 trade. If SPX sells off the way I believe, Bitcoin's gonna hit the shitter. I think Bitcoin is fucking done. Copy link. Oh. Okay. SPX definitely gonna move down. BTC is gonna hit the fan. So let's do this here. If we see that SPX is gonna dump about a solid, because I could see SPX easily go down to 3.7%, 4%. We could expect a 70 to 80% correlation with volume and average daily range. We can calculate the average daily range of 3,700 points here. Okay, 900 pips. The average daily range on average is what? Okay. We can expect, usually moves double its price, right? So we can expect we could expect lows to get hit again, at least. 369, 9% drop or dump back to these lows for sure. Yeah, it's Bitcoin's done. All right, guys, we're gonna wait tomorrow and see. We'll see how Iran reacts to all the stuff going on here. This is a very interesting thought process that I think on the war here. So other than that, Fed injecting liquidity, hopefully that does happen a bit more. I will stay up to date with a lot more news here. I will be broadcasting a lot more stuff on war, so you guys will see that. But other than that, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, and I will talk to y'all soon. Peace.